What is up? Rob here with McDojoLife. I am super excited to have today's guest on. But before that, I got to say, I don't do this as often as I should, but I'm going to try to do it way more. I don't know if you guys have ever watched this show or absolutely anything I put out on social media, but you'll notice there's a logo over there, right? Oh, I'm missing it. This is really hard to do upside down. No, it's in that area. You get it. It says Kill Cliff on it. Kill Cliff is a sponsor of the show. They're also a sponsor of McDojoLife. If you get the opportunity, please go to killcliff.com. Go support these guys. One, it's a fantastic product. Two, you can pick it up at Walmart. You can pick it up at Publix. It's an amazing drink. And I'm not going to lie, I literally drink one of these every time I go live. Every time. Why? Because I want to support. And two, it's delicious. So there's my shameless plug for the day. My guest for today is world-class, badass, Lethwei world champion, and all around pretty fun guy to hang out with. I'm not going to lie. Every time we talk, we always have a good time. The world-renowned Dave Leduc. Come on in, brother. Come on in. Let's slide you on in here. What's up, man?
Hey, boss. How are you?
Living the dream, dude. Living the dream. How you been?
I'm good. I've been. It's been a while. We didn't speak. Last time I was in Canada when we spoke, and so we were due.
Yeah, man. You actually were cool enough to hop in on our documentary about frauds in the martial arts industry as a subject matter expert of all things badassery. You headbutt people and elbow them for money. So I would say if anybody would know how to kick someone's ass, it's you and a handful of other people.
And, I can't wait to see it, man. It's I've been thinking about it for a while now. Like when is it live?
All right, so right now we have finished filming, kind of. I just got something that dropped in my lap yesterday, and I was like, I'm adding this. I don't care how much money it costs me. But we're working on distribution right now, and we're working on a 5-part series. So we have enough footage to make it a 5-part series. So hopefully you'll be seeing it streaming next year. So we're working on that. But anyway, I just want to say thank you.
Did you make me look good? That's the question. Did you make me look good?
Did I make you look good? Did you make you look good? All I can film is what you shoot, brother.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Can't wait to see.
There was a lot of really good insight, though, man. And I really appreciate the support. And I appreciate you being cool as hell for the last several years. We've known each other. You've been nothing but cool. And I got to say, you're probably one of my more exciting guests to talk about some of the subjects we're talking about, mostly because one of these is about you. But before we get to that one, I really want to talk about the first one. Let's go and pull up the past beef. We're going to go straight to the past beef. Bugs Bunny versus Elmer Fudd. This is a feud for the ages, son. Bugs Bunny stands roughly about 5'3", but with the ears up, it's about 4 feet tall. Weight, have no clue. Not going to lie. I looked all over for this dude's weight, and the only thing I could find was like 267 pounds. I was like, that's ridiculous. There's no way Bugs Bunny weighs that much, all right? He's a 3-foot bunny, all right? He ain't been eating that many carrots. Apparently, his age is around 80. He's only been defeated a few times. In the history of Bugs Bunny, there's not a lot of L's. There's more W's, and he's only been defeated a few times, and twice he's been defeated by Elmer Fudd. So keep that in mind when we start talking fights here. Elmer Fudd.
Why are they the same height? So he says hi. They're the same height. It's funny.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, the hat and I think the ears make all the height difference here. So I think Elmer Fudd without the hat's a much shorter, pudgier man, which I think will play a factor in their fight.
3 feet 5 inches, like the size of Hezbollah.
We actually did a beef of the week with Hezbollah about him anyway. His weight. Yeah, we did. We did that. We did that beef.
Who won? Who was set to win?
I don't remember, but I do remember it was really fun to talk about. Elmer Fudd. I imagine Elmer Fudd probably outweighs Bugs Bunny a little bit here. I'm just guessing, but he's a little older. He's 83 years old, and he's a losing record when it comes to Bugs Bunny. Every time they've had altercations, Bugs Bunny has kind of gotten the better of him, but he did beat him twice. So let's talk about it a little bit. Let's see. What are your thoughts?
Well, Fudd has a weapon, which makes it, it's kind of interesting. But it's been a while and I watched these shows. Bunny has the speed and agility, and he has the winning record, right? So I would have to go with because I don't want to. I'm a animal activist, right? So I want. I like the animals when they live. So let's say I would go with Bugs.
All right, that's fair enough. there was a time, actually, there's been 2 times that I can at least think of that Elmer Fudd actually did win. And I want to show you how he beat him one time.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and pull up this first clip just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with here in terms of Elmer Fudd. So here's one of his victories.
Let me see. You went far, man. I love it.
Oh, I go for it for real on the show.
Love it.
Farewell
See,
to
Bugs
thee.
didn't see that coming.
Okay, that's all
See that
him.
coming.
Okay.
These are old school, man.
You
Shit.
know I'm not
No other
supposed
show
to
does
wear
that, man.
a
Like,
hat.
that's so cool. But
The end. But here's the kicker. At the end, we find out
Anyway,
it was Fudd all
finally
along.
got even with that screwy wabbit.
so what is he? He's like in the metaverse. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's like he broke the wall. You know what I'm saying? He's like the guy drawing the guy while being drawn by another guy.
Interesting. Okay, so that's like deep shit. It's like the Matrix.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like
so-
Inception. It's like
Yeah,
Inception, but with
exactly.
cartoons.
Okay. Well, you
So-
see, that's kind of cute. Like, what I always like, I guess I'm a bit too harsh, but like, even in Marvel, like, I don't see enough blood. You know, it's always like it's very vanilla. Like, you know, I would like to see more. Like when they were in the, I saw Marvel the other day, and like they were in the city, and like they like shooting everybody, they're punching everybody, but nobody's heads gets decapitated, nobody's arms gets chopped off, and like same for Bugs Bunny, like or Fudd, like it's too vanilla for me. But I guess you can call it a win. What do you think?
Well, I agree with the vanilla thing, but there's one that stands out to me above all, and I think that might just because of our chosen occupations, that we're a little closer to reality with things. But the one I wish would have like an R rating is Star Wars. I really wish they'd make an R-rated Star Wars movie because, like, think about it. You have like a dude like Darth Vader, right? And then he has the ability to crush people with his mind, which is usually what I make fun of. But in Star Wars, it's okay. Gets away with it, right? And nothing happened. Like, you crushed a dude, you broke the dude's arm and nothing happens. Like, you cut his arm off and there's nothing, no blood, no nothing. It just doesn't ring true to me. You know, you shoot a guy, they bleed.
Blood and guts and everything. Yeah, you're right. Let's do it. Let's petition for for an R movie. I agree. Okay, so let's go with I go with Bugs because he's the good animal, and I don't like. What do you think?
I think that no matter what I show, the animal activist in you is always going to go Bugs.
Yeah.
But
100%.
What hypothetically if we had an actual altercation between the two and we could just judge the round?
But we did say do you have it? Do you have something?
I do. So let's say it's not a violent thing. Let's say we'll go towards let's make it non-violent. Let's say the fight isn't physical. Let's say it's a rap battle.
Okay.
All right. So
okay, you go like this. Okay, rap battle. Well, Bugs he has the jokes. You know, what's up, doctor? I think he would kill in a rap battle.
All right. Well, let's roll Elmer first. Let's pull out Elmer first, and let's see how he does starting it off.
Where'd you get
I'm taking you to school, call me the professor. You're sexually confused, cause you're a cross-dresser. You like to kiss men, and that's real funny. Call up you Hefner, you a gay boy bunny. You're lost on this stage, you need a map junkie. You made a wrong left turn at Albuquerque. One more. I'm a pimp, cause my hunting apparel's hot, son. Do a drive-by on your home with my double-barreled shotgun.
Oh, woo!
Kind of killed that, but can we see the reply? Or
I have the reply. I want to know what your thoughts are about the opening, the first round.
That was hot. That was fucking steaming. He killed it with the shotgun at the end. Holy shit. Okay, he doesn't fuck around.
All right. And now let's go ahead and roll Bugs Bunny's rebuttal here, and let's see who wins at the end of this. We'll give our 10-8s, our 10-9 rounds. Let's go.
I know that you call me a wascally wabbit. Say your R's like W's, that's a really bad habit. It's room, not room, trees, not tweed. You replace so many R's, I thought you was Chinese.
That is
You're so stuck on yourself, I'll call you Elmer's glue. I got you some coffee, 1 lump or 2.
So?
I only dress face like a goyle to prove that you're gay. Would you like a kiss, handsome?
Really? Okay.
Elmer packs Fudd. You heard what I said. He's so bald, I'll put a hair on his head. I'll sit down on your head just like I was a thinker. Ain't I a stinker?
Mic drop.
Yeah, mic drop. Yeah, I felt it. Bugs did it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go give my official weigh in here. I think that Bugs Bunny is probably gonna win. Elmer Fudd has had his sunshine from time to time. He's done all right for himself. He at least has more victories under Bugs than anyone else, really, right? But at the end of the day, Bunny wins every time.
Yeah. He's the star of the show. He's
the guy. You can't get rid of the guy's always got to win. It's just how it goes. All right.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's not 80 years old for nothing. Not a lot of rabbits live until 80, so he's solid.
You should always be fearful of people who live that old because they've seen more than you.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about this. I was talking to my wife earlier. My goal is to live until we're 100. So we're doing everything to, be as healthy, drink a lot of water, fast. Let's see if we can make it happen. Hopefully you'll be around when I'll be 100.
With your health and, your level of income, there's no reason to think that you couldn't live to 200-300 years old with modern technology.
Yeah. And there's another thing, that's off topic, but it's fucked up. The other day they was talking about with the metaverse thing. Yeah. What if that's fucked up? What if you can download your thoughts or your memories into the computers? Would that be something like even appealing, or would you be even conscious? Can we download consciousness in the next, let's say, because let's say I live until I'm 30 years old right now, and you die at 100. So they have 70 fucking years to come up with a way to download your consciousness, your memories into the metaverse, into the computer, into the cloud. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're unhealthy. Your brain is still, your memories are still there. Imagine if they make it happen. The technology advances so fucking fast right now. In 10 years, in 20, imagine in 50 years where we're going to be. It's exciting, but I'm just wondering, is it going to be pleasurable? Is it going to be pleasant to be?
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
When I'm already halfway to ready to go already. I mean, I can't imagine my grandmother, right? She's 96 years old. And I think the only thing that really keeps her going is the fact that she's ingrained with stubborn DNA, but also she smokes 3 packs of cigarettes a day. So I think the tobacco is keeping her together. But between those two things, my grandmother is like a stubborn woman. She's been ready to go for 20 years. She can't stand this shit anymore. So I imagine I have my grandmother's DNA. So I would think that when I get to that age, I'd be I'm ready. I'm done. This is good enough. I can't imagine the vampire curse. The vampire curse. When you become a vampire, the curse is you can't die. That's actually a curse, not a good thing, right? Why? Because it sucks. Enough of this just sucks.
Let me be the devil's advocate. Let's say because right now they didn't experience the whole technology exploding, the whole thing. They were back in the days, right? And I don't know when she's born, in the 50s. Now, let's say you can live an extra 50 just to live. You're in the metaverse. Maybe it could be appealing for an extra 30 years. Maybe she's ready to die because it's fucking boring right now and she doesn't know how the computer works and she's just fucking bored all the time. But what if she can meet a lot of people and have fun and play fucking ping pong with a guy in China, in the metaverse? It could be exciting. I'm just saying,
I mean, it's a thought. It's a thought. And the way technology is going, this could be a possibility within the next 20 years. Technology is quadrupling every year or something like that. It's something insane.
Musk is talking about this already. He's talking about fucking putting chips in the brains, which I think there's ethics. I don't have an opinion on that. It's fucked up. But if you can think about it, you can make it happen, right?
They're smarter than me, man. I don't know how all that works. I just I also think about this. When the new Xbox and the new PlayStation came out, right? I never buy the first generation models of the new things because they always fuck up. So like when the first Xbox, the new Xbox came out, the first thing people were complaining about was they were literally setting on fire. It's like, do I want to be the first guy in line for a chip in my head when they can't even get the Xbox not to set on fire? You know, like.
I agree with you. And same thing, by the way, that's controversial, but same thing for fucking the thing we put in our arms right now. I don't want to be the first one.
and just for YouTube's sake, we are not talking about anything medical.
No. That's opinion, and I. So,
but
it's personal. They allow personal opinions as long as you don't give advice.
All right. Well, before I get demonetized on that conversation, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use that as a segue to the next one, which is a fantasy beef. Let's go ahead and pull up the tail of the tape here. And to be honest, like when we pull up the tail of the tape, I have a lot more about Buakaw than I do about you. Your age is now 30, the last, because you were born in 91, right? In December?
Yeah, so, end of 91. I'm going to be 30 in next month, so yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I was like, I'm pretty sure you're 29 now, but you said you were 30. I was like, did I screw it up? And you're on the show. But, you know, let's see. Buakaw is 39 years old. He's 5'9", 158 pounds, over 239 wins with 24 losses, and 73 of those wins by way of KO. Yourself, 29, about to turn 30, 6'2", last known weight, according to the internet, was 165 pounds. You're a Lethwei world champion. When it came down to finding your record online, it was actually extremely difficult. So we can go and pull the tail of the tape down. But it was really difficult because your record is in Lethwei, or Lethwei. If I say it miscorrect, I'm a Southern dude. I fuck up names all the time. But at the end of the day, you elbow people and headbutt them into oblivion. That's what you do. So when it comes down to like this particular fight, there was a lot of controversy. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't even know there was controversy about this until like 2 days ago. Like I didn't even know there was a problem.
By the way, wait. There's going to be a lot. So you're actually this video is going to kickstart something crazy because I'm writing a letter to the Ministry of Immigration and the actual King of Thailand right now. So this is just wait after this video as well. There's going to be even more controversies. It's pretty deep shit with the two countries of Myanmar and Burma and Thailand. But we can talk about the record because that's something that's kind of funny as well. So what you were about to say?
Well, let's go down this path, right? First, let's go ahead and touch on your record since I just got done with the tail of the tape. Yeah. So what is your official Lethwei record as of right now?
I'm not sure. Let me check. I always check on Wiki. So let me check.
I had to do the same, but it wasn't on there. I couldn't find it.
Of course it's there. Yeah, it's there. It's just at the bottom. Let's see. Lethwei record. So it's so I have 12 fights in Lethwei, and it's basically in Lethwei. For those who don't know, it's KO to win. And so do you see me, my guys, right now? Do you see me? I'm on the okay. So basically, it's KO to win. So if you don't knock out your opponent, it gets called a draw. So many times, or actually the other controversial thing is that you have a 2-minute timeout in traditional Lethwei. So let's say me and you, we fight. I knock you out. You get a 2-minute break. Your coach can revive you and brings you to your corner. That's from back in the days. It's a lot of honor and a lot of to give you a second chance to come back. And then you get a choice: you quit or you continue. But the Burmese guys are some of the toughest motherfuckers I ever saw in my life, and they just always continue. And then so basically you have to knock him out again to win. So it's 2 knockout to win. Unlike in UFC, sometimes you clip him and the ref jumps on you right away. In Lethwei you get a 10 count. You get four 10 counts or 3 10 counts, and then you get also a 2 minute timeout on top of being. It's hard to always knock out people. That's why that's what I say. Sometimes you can dominate a guy for 5 rounds. You can even knock him out. He comes back and finishes the fight. So you definitely dominated the fight, but you get scored a draw according to traditional Lethwei rules, right? So I got six wins, so that means that's KO in Lethwei. That means there's no decision in my record. So 6 wins and 6 draws, but these draws were complete dominations. So that's the thing, and that's why it brings me. It's a full circle on Buakaw's record because look. 230 wins 70 KOs. So the rest is a lot of fucking decisions, right? Like all my draws were wins if it were Muay Thai rules, because it would have scored a unanimous decision or split decision, right? But if you fight in Muay Thai, you get a lot of wins. It pads up the record. It looks good. We didn't knock him out. You can't do that. It was all decision. You didn't knock out these guys. You only did it 73 times out of 300 times. So it's a way more. You have to understand these things, and of course I'd like to have that win when I dominate the guy for fucking 5 rounds. But I respect the traditional.
Well, the rules are the rules.
Exactly.
When you play a game by the rule set, you have to go by the rule set. And I want to add something here to this, is that you and Buakaw would be an amazing fight. I would love to see that fight. That would be an incredible fight. But when it got presented and brought to the table, a lot of trouble came from that, which it was very weird to me, because to me, when it comes to Lethwei, you are kind of that guide. I think that you're responsible for bringing Lethwei to the world, and kind of putting it more on a main stage, sharing it, spreading it, even coming to the United States, doing seminars over here, and kind of letting more people know about the culture. I had never heard of it until I had heard of you. That's just a fact. And so in my world, you are the key to bringing that out and more to the world and spreading it, which is great. Every martial art and style has had that person do that, which is a beautiful thing. But then, because of this particular match, all of a sudden, it seemed like the country itself started rallying against you for some reason.
In Myanmar?
What happened?
No, nothing happened. No, that was, I don't know what you're referring to, but definitely it's Thailand.
Thailand. There you go.
Thailand. Yeah, but basically, there's a thing. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, well, technically, yes, there's a federation in Myanmar called the Myanmar Traditional Lethwei Federation, which is run.
That was what I was referring to.
Yeah, they're run by a bunch of old gentlemen that never really liked me, because I had high expectations for Lethwei. I had high hopes, making a lot of worldwide promotion, and they're very conservative, and I was always trash talking too much for them. It was always like tap on the hand, like don't do that. I was like, I don't care, I'm gonna be me. So I was always getting reprimanded, quote unquote. They were always mean to me. At one point I wanted to take a break. At my birthday, I was living in Dubai, and they said I was actually going on a seminar tour in Sweden and Norway and everywhere, and while I was in Norway, they said, you have to defend your title next month, otherwise we're going to strip you. I'm like, what the fuck? I just defended it 2 months ago. Like, give me a break, right? They said, no, you have to do it. And because they had financial gains with this, they were like 20 million pay-per-views in the country, or I don't know how much. So it's a lot of money in the country. So they literally said, we're going to strip you. I'm like, well, I get an official letter from them. I was very, very upset with them. I did the fight. I defended my title, and then I filled up the stadiums. The pay-per-view was insane. The country of Myanmar is about 55 million people, so there's a lot of people there. There's billionaires, USD money in Myanmar. Right? There's a lot of money there, gems and gold, and anyway. The point is, they even said, well, you cost us too much. So even after doing all of this, they were telling me like, oh, you're too expensive for us. You asked for too much. Like, can I get a bit of thank you? Thank you. And no, it was always negative. So at one point I just left, and they didn't like that. I went for another promotion, the WLC, which I went to fight. But all this to tell you, basically, when I started doing my talking about the beef, or talking about Thailand, this select group of individuals that run the traditional federation, they said I couldn't fight for them. Well, I don't care, because I just literally fought in USA with the World Lethwei Federation. The World Lethwei Federation oversees, Lethwei in Slovakia, in USA. It's like boxing. There's many different federations. I couldn't give a fuck about being banned for 2 years. I even made a letter that said, you're banned for 2 years because you spoke about Buakaw or Thailand, or because I actually spoke about Nai Nakamtong. Maybe you know this guy. He's like the father of Muay Thai, and it's a fake folklore story story. It's a bullshit story. And they said that he beat 9 Burmese fighters in a row when he was incarcerated in Burma, when he was a prisoner of war. I said, that's fucked up. That's bullshit. No, like, they can't even win one. And like, Lethwei is fucking hard. You can't. And he said in the folklore story, he beat 9 champions of Lethwei in a row without rest period. Fuck you, you know. Like, and it's a bullshit story that this story was invented at the same time as when Burma basically looted and destroyed the old Siam capital of Ayutthaya in Thailand. Before it was called Thailand, it was Siam. They destroyed that, and they obviously, what do you do when you're a crushed country? You know, I'm going to call it as it is. You're crushed. You come up with stories like, well, at least our guy Nai Nakhon Thom, he beat 9 of their guys in fighting. We lost the war, but our sport is really good, eh? No, that's not true. So basically, I said that, and they didn't like that because they have friends in Thailand, obviously. And I said, well, I don't care about fighting for 2 years. I will never fight for you again. That's my reply to them. I don't even want to fight for you anymore. So that's sorry for that, but that's very passionate. It's a very
man. I appreciate you kind of letting that out, because it was something I was curious about, and I remember you sending me the letter. I remember when that happened because you sent me a letter on Instagram and I didn't understand it then. And I was like, okay, like I don't get it. But now, like you explained it, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. But at the end of the day, I agree with you.
That's a real beef. That's really perfect for the show, because that's a beef with the country. So now this federation doesn't want to fight me. I don't want to fight for them. But the country is, you know, they fucking love what we're doing for the sport, but yeah, I'm actually banned. That's another real beef. I'm actually banned from Thailand. Like, I will never be able to go there ever again in my life.
So wait, the country of Thailand has banned you from going there because you literally were just talking?
Yeah. The Ministry of Immigration and Culture blacklisted me. And pretty sure if I go to Thailand, I'm going to go to prison for life.
How about you don't go to Thailand? But at the end of the day,
I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there ever. Even without that, like, I've done 3 years there. I don't want to go there. But everybody, when I posted this, were like, man, that's pretty epic. I don't know any other fighters that got banned from a country for talking. You know?
You literally got banned for just speaking. Like, that's insane to me.
Even McGregor can go to Brazil. He probably can go to Brazil if he wanted to, right? Like, so it's kind of fucked up that they banned me from Thailand for speaking.
Well, you know, I had Roxanne Modafferi on here, and I'm pretty sure I just messed up her last name, but Modafferi Barry. Fuck. Thanks, Courtney. At the end of the day, I had Roxy on because that's what I always call her anyway. So anyway, she was on the show this last week, and then last week she actually announced that her next fight not only will be a world record, which is amazing because she'll have the most fights out of any MMA fighter. I think at 50 fights, which is incredible for women's MMA. Congratulations to her, by the way. But also that will be her last fight, that she is going to be retiring. Yeah, so that was a pretty cool thing to hear. But you were just telling me that you were about to make some waves yourself. So what was the thing you were about to say about making some waves? Like, you said you were going to be writing.
Yeah. I'm writing an official letter with my team right now. Like, I'm getting translated in Thai as well to the government of Thailand. So basically, because I know maybe it's not as exciting for other people, but I'm very implicated into the culture of Thailand. Of Myanmar. Basically, they say that they care about, they want a friendly relation between the two countries. So it's basically politics. What I'm saying, it's politics. But then every year they celebrate the National Muay Thai Day, which basically the head of that holiday is Nai Nakhon Thom, which is the guy that I was telling you, which is based on a very, in my opinion, very demeaning and offensive story, which is not based on any. There's no historical facts. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. It's all word of mouth, telephone game until now, and they celebrate this. And if you look at the story, every fucking year it pops. oh, Naina Kamtam beat 9 Burmese fighters. You know, we kind of overlook that, but it's very so you're celebrating beating these guys, and not only that, but you're reminiscing war times between the two countries. So basically, I'm going to ask them to stop. You can celebrate National Pride Day of Muay Thai. You should, and you can be proud of your national sport, but don't bring back this very. It's just a very ugly story. Even like the Burmese people don't celebrate destroying your capital. So, they don't celebrate this time. So that's my opinion.
Dissect that just real fast. So basically, they're mad at you for speaking, but yet they have a ingrained story that is extremely disrespectful to the other country. But that's okay.
That's okay. Exactly. It's double standard as fuck.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like at the end of the day, I think that I'm probably one of the biggest fans of freedom of speech ever. I think that people should be able to have the right to say whatever they want to say. But at the end of the day, especially when it comes to fighting, fighters have been talking shit for the history of fighting. Like Miyamoto Musashi, my favorite martial artist of all time, legendary Ronin Miyamoto Musashi, who was basically just a glorified homeless dude who went around Japan murdering people. But I digress. When it comes to Miyamoto Musashi, that dude was the most disrespectful human being on the planet.
Really?
Oh, yeah, dude. He always showed up late. He would never show up on time, which back then was extremely disrespectful. He would always talk trash to the other fighters. Like, for instance, one of the more famous stories was the Bodor story, where he goes to the shore and he meets the famous samurai and he cracks him on the head with a Bodor. He talked trash to that dude, right? Like, it's a part of the game. You know, if you can emotionally get in someone's head, you can kind of dissect them before you ever fight them. Also, something Miyamoto wrote about in Book of Five Rings is getting in people's head. But at the end of the day, I think that I'm really interested to see where that continues, and I hope you keep me updated with that. Yeah. And to be honest, I like the Leduc versus Buakaw thing was just an excuse to talk about that stuff. So I'm glad we got to talk about it.
I have information as well about that, but just before I go, basically, the thing I know why it's so offensive for them, or they're so mad at this and they ban me from the country. You know why? I lived there for 3 years and I love I love the Thai people. They're great. I have only good things to say. The problem with it's basically the way the government is run and the way the national pride is set up is that I was living there, it's you're fuck all if you're not Thai. We're the best. You're in our country. We don't, we have the best country. It's all about pride. And then, we're just basically the best at everything at Muay Thai because we're Thai and all these things. The fact is, nobody ever, I'm the first one to ever say, and I have Thai people, I'm not going to name any names, fighters, and they actually say, you're right, foreigners as well, that they basically say that nobody can say these things because you can get banned from our country, you can go to prison. There's no freedom of speech in Thailand. If you talk against the king, you go to prison. You can. So my point is, you don't have to agree with me. I'm just sharing what I'm saying.
No. I definitely understand. It's a very fascinating sense of nationalism that a lot of, for lack of better words, a lot of more third world countries have. When you're talking about nationalism, when you don't have money and you don't have, a lot of import, export, you don't have a lot of political pull in the world. What do you have? And all you really have is the ability to say, I'm prideful to be where I'm from. And if that's all you really have, then you defend that. And I understand it. I get it. At the end of the day, but one thing I don't agree with is I don't think that should come at the cost of other people's opinions. I think people should have that right to be able to have the opinion and speak freely because that's how we grow as human beings. Having open conversations and dialogue, even if we don't agree, especially in a time like now in our political climate, is more important than it's ever been because that's how we grow and evolve. If we don't allow people to speak their mind, even if we disagree with them, then what's going to wind up happening is we will never evolve as human beings because no one will ever have an opposing point of view. And that is really fucking weird. Have you ever been around a group of people that only agree with you? That shit's fucking weird, right? It's weird as fuck. It's like, why are you kissing my ass? Like, I don't fucking know you. Just like, tell me your opinion. I'm not going to chew your head off or yell at you. I want to know a real opinion. And for an entire government structure to basically say, nah, fuck that guy. He disagrees with us. It's ridiculous. That is childish. it doesn't help anybody, and all it does is help keep the people in power because they're able to control the people and keep them down.
Yeah. I did an interview with Antoine Pinto. He's a famous Muay Thai fighter. I think he fought at Glory, and he basically said, he asked me about that, and he said, Dave, so why? And I didn't like it, but he said, why are you? We're born in a culture of respect and honor, respect. Basically, I'm like, I didn't think about this at the time. I didn't answer that, but I said, what I'm thinking is, no, you're not. You're born in a culture of oppression, the lack of freedom of speech, and if you dare to say something against the people in power, you're going to go to prison. You can't say something about the king on Facebook. They're going to go knock on your door. So what is that respect? That's an illusion of respect. And so for me to actually say something, not offensive, I'm just saying the story is not true. I'm saying that, no, they didn't do that. The Thai people did not do that to the Burmese people, and vice versa. I'm not saying anything offensive, but who's offensive? It's your king that's offensive. He's actually taking $1 billion a year in tax money to pay for his royal palace when he's one of the richest monarch in the world, while his people that he supposedly cares about are living in poverty. They have to put their kids in. They have to make them work in the streets, come up late, and everything. And you tell me that your king respects you and you're born in a culture of respect? No, you're not. Don't come at me for say that I'm disrespectful when your own fucking king doesn't respect you. So yeah, now, by the way, after this, what I just said, I'm officially banned from Thailand.
Well, you just put the exclamation point on it. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to kind of explain that situation, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that kind of unfolds because, again, I think that you should be able to see
Buakaw, Rob, we know Buakaw actually priced himself out of the deal. I can tell you in scoop, it's the first one I say, so the official scoop for Beef of the Week. I have confirmation from the guy that was taking charge of the matchup. He was asking for, I think they were offering a certain amount, but he tripled that. So he's like, I want X amount. And which he never ever got in his life. I think it was $300K or something. He never got that in his life. And we're basically giving not me, but like we're offering pay-per-view, which I have 2 million followers over my socials. He has 5 or something. Overall, this would be the biggest stand-up fight in history, full on, not boxing, but like full on fighting, stand-up fighting. Everything goes. I even said no headbutts. I'm fine. I can beat you without the headbutts. I said, okay, no, don't want to do bare knuckle. I'll do small MMA glove. I'll cut you still with my elbows. Still, that's not enough. I fight open weight at 80. I don't cut weight. I said, I'll cut weight for you. I never cut weight. I'll cut weight to 72. I'm 80. I don't give a fuck. I'll cut the extra 8 kilo just for that fight because I want to settle that beef from Thailand and Myanmar.
Well, I agree, man. And now,
after all that, he said, "No, I want more money." So he priced himself out. They're fucking scared.
Well, hey, man, you heard it here first, man. Buakaw, the ball's in your court, man. Dave Leduc's ready to bang. Where you at? So hopefully somebody will get this out there to the world, and hopefully he'll be able to.
You need the fucking money, man. Your baby mama is bringing you to court because you can't pay your child support. So you'll need the money in the next couple of months because you're not a fucking good dad. You can't even pay your child support. Let's go.
Well, that's a good segue to the next segment. Let's go right to the main event. The main event is actually this Saturday. We're going to go Thug Rose versus Zhang. Let's go and bring up the tail of the tape. This one's, I wanted to spend more time on that last segment, but I do want to get your thoughts on this particular one. Thug Rose, 29 years old. She's 5'5", 115 pounds, a 65-inch reach, which I got to say, for her height, it's pretty long arms. I give her credit for that. Record, she got 10 wins, 4 losses, 2 of those wins by KO, 5 by submission. And her last fight was also her last win, which was against Zhang, which was a hell of a fight, by the way. Great fight. Zhang, 32 years old, 5'4", 115 pounds. She loses the reach advantage here with only a 63-inch reach. She does, however, have a more extensive record outside of the UFC. She has 21 wins with only 2 losses, which is a fantastic MMA record. 10 of those wins by KO, 7 by submission, which basically makes her dangerous standing and on the ground. When you look at her last loss, before Rose, by the way, was in 2013. Her other loss was in 2013. Just think about how long that win streak was before she got beaten by Rose. That is a fantastic record. So let's go ahead and break this down real fast. Rose, obviously, a very, very good stand-up practitioner. While Zhang is very, very well-rounded. So I'm curious what your thoughts are about this.
I just have to remind myself, like, I'm not the most knowledgeable about MMA. I'm more on the striking side, but like, how did she win? Was it a decision or?
Well, let's go and pull it up. Like I actually think we have it. So if we can go and pull that up real fast, I have the first one. I think this first one is Rose's.
Are you allowed to put it?
Yeah, well, I can't put up the clips, unfortunately, because then UFC will fucking put the kibosh on it and stop me from being able to monetize up in here. If we can zoom in here and just zoom to the top. I do believe I have her last fight right there on the top, if we can just get that going. I know it might take a second, so that's cool. But when it comes down to it, there we go. We can almost read it if we get to the top here, over to the left, Rose versus Zhang, and then we can just start scrolling the other way to the right, so that way we can see. This looks like it was Rose's last fight. This is her particular fight record, and then we just scoot on over just a few more scoochies. We're almost. Where are you going? No, you're going the wrong way. I don't get to control it. We have a team.
It was a kill. It was a kill.
There you go. Yes, it was a kick via knock. It was a kick knockout. So, but if you zoom back out, if we could do that, you can kind of see that at the end of the day, this is a phenomenal record even for Rose. Now, Rose, without having such an extensive record, and look at the amount of like title shots here. 1, 2, 3, like 4. Yeah. She in a short period of time, she was able to climb those rankings and get to title shots because she's a very talented fighter. Now, if we back out of this, we can go to Zhang's and we can see her particular record. And then on Zhang's record, look at that. Awesome. If we scroll back just a little bit, I don't know how much we really need to scroll back because I think this might be the whole thing here. Yeah, it is the whole thing. So, but if you look, this is just her fights in the UFC. She's been fighting for a very long time, but also she has also fought for the title several times and defended several times. So we're not talking about scrubs. These are fantastic female competitors. We're talking about elite level strikers. But at the end of the day, I'm very interested to see how this will go because I think that if Zhang wants to win this fight, her best bet's to shoot in and take it to the ground. She's no scrub on the ground. And when you look at the record, just going off the record by itself, Rose doesn't have a ton of wins via submission, while Zhang has 7 wins via submission. So, just looking at the numbers, you would think that would be her game plan. If I were her, I'd take this motherfucker to the ground. Let's see what that happens,
Yeah. Interesting. I think it's going to, I suspect it's going to be it's going to be blood. It's going to be a brawl. But let's say I think they're gonna get tired up, and one of them is gonna win by like finishing with like a submission. But there's gonna be a lot of strikes on the feet, I suppose. And I don't know the ground skills of both of the women, but I feel like Rose she can defend it. She's very focused. I like her attitude.
Yeah, I think Rose is very interesting because she comes off as very stoic. She's like kind of like when she's on camera, she's not trying to be in the spotlight. She's all about fighting, which I think most people respect. I don't really think Zhang is the same way, and I think that she's very similar to Rose in that way. I'm sorry, where I think that she's all about the fighting. And when you get 2 fighters in there and there's no ego involved, it's we will fight, we will see who wins, and that's that. I respect that. Yeah. Whereas you look at like Colby versus Usman, it's just trash talk nonstop. And it's like I mean, I know that we're talking about that particular fight, as a main event fight, but I really think that this fight by itself could be a main event fight. And I think that, when I'm looking at a fight like this, I'm really excited to see because I like watching smaller people fight because smaller people have cardio for days and they just go. And the tempo is excruciating. And I fucking love that. So who wins, who loses, we'll have to find out tomorrow night. So let's go and go to the presser and let's go and wrap this up. But I wanted to open the floor to you just a little bit. Take a minute or two just to kind of let people know what you have going on, what's coming up for you, anything you'd like people to know, and where they can find you, all that good stuff.
Cool. Well, basically, we spoke on the phone a couple of days ago. Like right now, I am obviously I'm 29, 30. It's still I'm still very young, and I have a lot of good years of fighting. I love fighting, and I would do it for free. Like I just fucking love to do it. And but right now Myanmar is under a big military coup. Everything is on alt. So I'm just training, and I have developed a big passion into the cryptocurrency world. So I started a token myself, and we did extremely well. It was like a charity coin, mixed with comic. So we're basically the first coin to have a comic book at that made by Marvel, an agency that does cartoons for Marvel. Cost us a lot of money, but basically we're going to airdrop comic books, comic pages of the book. It's interesting. They can check it out. It's called Koji, and we launched the coin. That was my first experience, my first project I did with crypto. I never did that for years. That was this year, and I just learned everything on the spot. And the first at launch, we did 27 million market cap. So we did 4,000%. It was insane. And we were able to give 40,000 to charities in Africa for animals welfare. So it was really nice, and it's just continuing. But that was my first experience, and I love the aspect of financial aspect, but I love what's the potential with NFTs and crypto. So that's what I wanted to see what we can do more, and we're launching another project, which if it does as well as Koji, it's gonna help. We're going to give proceeds from the NFT sale to gyms around the world, MMA gyms around the world. So I'm going to, we can give money to the Good Fight Foundation for the gyms in Cameroon from Francis Ngannou. Anywhere I want to be able to give fight equipment, punching bags to gyms around the world. Anybody that needs it, we're going to finance it, and we're going to pay for it.
Do you have a sponsor for that equipment? Because if not, let me know, and I'll try to make that happen for you.
I don't. We can go with your guys.
Let's make that happen. I'm all for it, man.
Okay.
I'm all for the charity work. I'm all for getting people who are underprivileged equipment and stuff like that. And I know that the sponsor I have for equipment is amazing. RDX Sports has been nothing but cool to me, and I know they'd be all about trying to work to get underprivileged people some.
Obviously, we would pay for it. But if they can arrange something, but we would use the funds to facilitate that. And if they can work something out, that would be great. But basically, I think martial art is so beneficial for everybody around the world, and if we can help to not have your documentary is helping, making sure that we don't have fucking phonies help doing martial art, and if we can help them train in a safe environment, not on fucking concrete, and think about Myanmar, it's very bad where they're training, but that's not only isolated in Myanmar, it's everywhere. But the thing that basically the road to go there, the vehicle to go there to bring that to be able to generate that kind of money to help gyms, it's very interesting and very cool, and people are going to freak out, because basically the way we're going to do is we're doing a Hasbullah Fight Club, it's called. So we're
oh man, hopefully the internet didn't kick out right then. If it did, horrible timing. But Dave, just so we can push forward, just in case his Wi-Fi does not come back, I'll just continue to let people know what's going on, because we spoke extensively about this. But Dave Leduc is starting an NFT that is a Hezbollah Fight Club NFT. So it's basically it's like a photo of Hezbollah that is an NFT, but it has features of all these different fighters. One's like Mike Tyson with his his tattoo. The other one has like angel's wings. He did one of me, which I thought was really cool for him to think of me, and he made like a little Rob Hezbollah. So that's pretty awesome. And I got to say, I'm really excited to support that. Sorry that the internet kicked out at a very bad time, but to kind of wrap this up, I will make sure that in the link below in the description that I add all that information below, so that way you guys can keep up with what's going on. And also keep an eye out for the Rob/Hezbollah NFT piece of art. So, but I always end every show with a martial moment, and I want to go ahead and play Dave Leduc's martial moment. Let's go ahead and roll that for me.
Hey guys, I've been hesitating to do this video because this is something that I've been one of my secret techniques, and I didn't want to show everyone, but a lot of people ask me about knife disarm. So we have a knife here, and I want Joey to really go ahead and try to attack me with a thrusting motion like this, as hard as you can, right? I'm gonna take all the energy from the ground, 100% try to thrust me with that knife, okay? I already start bringing energy from the ground. Okay. From here, you grab, you don't waste time, you grab the knife. He's not paralyzed yet. I'm gonna hit it in the spleen, spleen 6, paralyze him. Right? From here, he can't move because I hit it right under the belly button. But now he still has a good grip on the knife. I'm going to go right on the wrist, on the nerve right here. And this opens up the hand and I have the weapon from here. You can do whatever you want with him. You can do whatever you want.